Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Thursday, August 28, 2014. My name's Nick Santiago. I'm going to start off with the S&P 500 E-mini futures. What you're going to see here is that the futures are trading lower this morning by 6.25 points to 1990.75 per contract. Then the futures were a little bit lower earlier this morning. They have come back a little bit. All in all, there's some geopolitical news saying that Russia has now moved into Ukraine. I don't know how much we can make out of it. I don't even know what we can believe. The reports are so sketchy, but nonetheless, we'll see how that plays out going forward. In the meantime, there was some economic news released just a little while ago. The economic news, in my opinion, is useless. It's absolutely pointless, but it looks like U.S. GDP, I believe, rose a little bit here. U.S. GDP for the second quarter rose to 4.2% from 4%. U.S. weekly jobless claims finished at around 298,000. Weekly jobless claims. I don't really care about that. Really, what you want to watch for the market, as far as the market is concerned, is dollar-yen. Just keep an eye on the dollar-yen chart. This is something that I talked about yesterday. You saw dollar-yen goes lower, markets will go lower. Today, the dollar-yen is down about 11 cents. It was down even more. Notice how it hit the low right here, exactly when the S&P 500 hit the low as well. Two charts almost today, they're looking like they're in virtual lockstep with each other. Watch dollar yen. Dollar yen falls, stock market goes lower. Remember, that's the liquidity that's the liquidity that goes into the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq and the Dow and every other index out there. It comes from that dollar yen carry trade. So when dollar yen goes lower, stock market goes lower. You're not going to hear this on CNBC. All right, let's move over to some stocks in the news today. We have quite a few out there. First one we're going to talk about is Williams Sonoma. The stock right now, this is a retailer. His stock is getting hammered. Closed at $75 last night, or $74.89. It is now trading at $66.70. So I will have some gap levels for us in the intraday stock chat today. We will be playing Williams Sonoma at some point in time this morning. Let's take a look at Guess stores. This is another one that is getting spanked. Guess Jeans, you know it as the retail jean maker. But either way, the stock closed at around $25.64. It's now trading at $23.24. I really don't see a lot of support here at all until the stock goes significantly lower. So I know traders right now are probably looking at the $22.50 level. There could be a little minor support there, but for me, I'd wait for this thing to get down towards a little bit lower, and I'll have some levels in the chat room for you on that one as well. Let's take a look at GlaxoSmithKline. It looks like they're going to be put on, one of their drugs is going to be put on a trial for an Ebola cure or an Ebola vaccine. So this news right off the bat should help all the Ebola stocks. TKMR, I believe, is trading higher this morning on that news. I'm not sure if there's a lot of upside left in any of these things, but it looks like U.S. government has allowed GlaxoSmithKline to test an Ebola drug going forward. All right, we want to take a look at Workday, WDAY. This stock right now is trading at $21.50. They came out with earnings. Stock closed at $90.30. I'm seeing a lot of resistance around $92.60 to $92.75. Again, give it the upside bias. It's one of the stronger names out here today, although I don't think there's all that much upside left in the stock. We want to take a look at Abercrombie & Fitch, ticker symbol ANF. Right now, the stock is trading at $41.55. It closed at $44.20. This is a good sell-off. This is a strong gap lower. I do expect lower prices in ANF today. There's another stock. We'll have some levels in the chat room at 9 o'clock for you. Again, we'll trade this one today if stock does come down a little bit. Let's take a look at JP Morgan. JP Morgan Chase actually came out with news today saying they were hacked. The suspicion is it's by Russian hackers. I don't know. But nonetheless, a lot of data, a lot of information was taken. There's also news out that 4 other banks were hacked as well. And again, we'll see how that plays out. But JP Morgan this morning trading at $59.23. It closed at $59.59. Really not that big a deal. JPM does have a lot of resistance up around that $59.75 level. Let's take a look at GCO, which is Genesco. And what you're going to see here is stock is getting hammered. It closed at $88.68. It's not down on a lot of volume this morning, but this is a thin name. Rarely does this stock trade a million shares. In fact, it probably averages around 100,000 a day. So stocks like this can trade lower. The only level that would really intrigue me here would be around 77.50. So keep that on the radar. If it does get down there, that's a level that might be in play today, around the 77.50 level. Other than that, I don't see much else out here at the moment for this one. Let's take a look at Rio Tinto. Overnight, looks like there was some news out of China saying that iron ore prices, or Australian iron ore prices, are going to go lower. Rio Tinto is definitely feeling that today. The stock closed at $55.69. Today the stock is trading at $53.46. A level I like for Rio Tinto today, even though the stock has some short-term support at 53.20, but a level I really like for the stock would be 51.50. So if it gets down to 51.50, I like it a lot. I would play that there. If it gets down to 53.20, which I expect, you're only 20 cents away, it may find some stability there. It may give you a little bit of a bounce. I don't love it at that level, though. I think it could give you, it could hold up at that level. But 51.50, I do like it for a bounce play there. So keep that on the radar today. BHP Billiton is also coming under pressure. Stock closed at $69.63. It's trading at 68.20. Not that big a deal. The level I have for BHP Billiton, though, is $66. If it gets down to 66, pick it up for a scalp bounce. That's going to be a good play in my opinion. Again, all the levels mentioned in this video are just intraday scalp plays. Trades lasting between 10 and 30 minutes. All right, let's take a look here at the gold market. Gold is roaring today. Gold is up over $10. So right now, gold futures are trading up $10.30 to $1,293.80 an ounce. They were a little bit higher earlier. Let's go to the GLD. You'll see the GLD trading right now at right around $124.40. So decent little pop here for the GLD. It closed at $123.31. Again, I think gold is just putting in a real choppy sideways base to ultimately break higher. I don't really see anything wrong with gold at the moment. If gold comes down today, which I don't really expect a major sell-off in gold, you're going to look at $122.12, but I don't expect that to happen. Right now, gold is holding up pretty well, and there's all these problems in the Middle East start to brew up again. Problems in the Ukraine start to brew up again. Remember, Russia now is trading with China using ruble and yuan. They are not using the US dollar. The petrodollar scare is about to take place. That's going to benefit gold as well. So keep that on the radar and just respect what you're seeing on the charts. Looking at crude oil today, crude is up 17 cents to $94.07 an ounce. A barrel, excuse me, $94.08 a barrel at the moment. Let's take a look at the USO. USO trading at around 35.12. I don't see any real major upside here in the USO. Again, if it does fall by some chance, USO has support at 33.90. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm thinking, at least at the moment. All right, let's go back and look at futures today. Yesterday, by the way, the trading volume in the S&P 500 spiders was the lightest of the year. So again, today we're probably going to look at a very light volume trading day, barring any geopolitical events, once the noon hour arrives. So expect very, very light volume today, and that generally helps to keep the market somewhat buoyant. But at the moment, futures are down about $5.35. Remember what I said at the start of this video. Dollar yen will tell you everything you need to know. Okay, here was right here when dollar yen bottom. That's when the S&P futures bottomed. Dollar yen's upticking right now, and you see the S&P minis trying to uptick as well. All right, so again, keep that on your radar. That's very, very important. With that being said, everybody, I want to wish you all a great trading day. We'll see you on the charts. And again, come on over to the chat room. Gap plays will be posted at 9 a.m.